Hi, everyone. Victor Fernandez of Fernandez Fit here. Now, I originally planned on sharing this post in written form on social media because I was going to throw a couple numbers at you because you know how much I love numbers, how much of a numbers guy I am, and how much I just love math. But the more I thought about it, I wanted to share the feelings behind these numbers, at least the way they make me feel. And those numbers specifically are 40% and 70%. Now, what does that mean? 40% of the US population, the entire country, is considered obese. That number goes up to 70%, at least 70%, when you talk about people who are deemed to be overweight. That's an alarmingly large number, given the fact that really true health and fitness is a simple proposition. I don't think I have to tell anyone out there, any of you watching this, that if there was an apple in front of you and a bag of chips, that you should more often than not grab that apple and eat that. That if there was a glass of water in front of you as opposed to a can of soda, that you should grab that glass of water and drink that. It's fairly simple. So why is that? Why are those numbers so high? It's not because of a lack of basic knowledge. To me, it's what we focus on when we attempt to get healthy, when we attempt to get in better shape, get more fit. And that has a lot to do with the number that appears on the scale. That to a lot of people, and it was to me, I'll speak from firsthand experience that when I started on my own health and fitness journey, the number one goal was to make the number on that scale go down. And I equated success and failure based on when I would step on that scale. If the number went down, I succeeded. If the number stayed the same or went up, God forbid, it was a failure. It was that cut and dry for me. And for a lot of people in this country, that's what they so focus on. That's what they get so fixated on. So a couple of things happens here. They lose sight of the bigger picture, number one. As I went along on my own personal journey and really continue to this day, I started to discover a pretty interesting fact that my weight and losing weight specifically wasn't the be all and end all. It wasn't the primary goal. It was the vehicle to get to something bigger. Now, maybe at that time I didn't know what that specifically was. I most certainly didn't. But as I went along, I began to realize more and more that it was that I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to be happier with myself in my life, to be, better for my family, better for my friends, better in my career, be more passionate about my life and not just feel like I'm existing within it. Again, nothing to do with the numbers. The numbers were merely symbolic of something bigger. And once I realized that, once I discovered what those objectives were, what those goals were, that is what really spurred me on to not just do things, but to do things the right way. And here's what I mean by the right way. I have this conversation far too often with people where they tell me they've lost weight, gained weight, lost weight again, gained weight, and we call that the yo-yo diet, when the weight goes up and down like a roller coaster, like a yo-yo. And there's a reason for that, because for so many people, they feel that the work they do is not only hard, which it is, but it has to be complicated too. Or more to the point is that they want something that's going to get them the desired result faster. So what do? They select, and you can insert any diet here. I'm not going to badmouth any diets out here. Insert any fad diet in there that you so choose, because I guarantee you, we've all tried them out at some point in time or another. Now, for any of those diets, I don't care what diet you choose. I don't care. You can come up with the most asinine, the most outlandish diet you can think of. You're going to lose weight. in the short term. As long as you're eating less and moving more, that you're burning more than you're taking in, regardless of what you're doing, regardless of how restrictive it is or potentially dangerous that it is, which I'm not telling you to go do, you're going to lose weight in the short term. Calories in versus calories out. But for a lot of people, it isn't the initial weight loss that's the challenge. I guarantee you, of that 40% of the population that's obese, of the 70% of the population that's deemed overweight, I'll bet that the majority, if not every last one of them, has lost weight in some way, shape, or form in their adult life. A pound here, 5 pounds here, 10 pounds, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100. I guarantee you they've all lost weight doing something at some point in time or another. So losing weight isn't the challenge. We all can do that. I did that a million times when I was at my most unhealthy. I'd lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. I did that a ton. The only difference was that when it came time, I reached my goal. Whatever that was at the time I'd reach it. And then the work ended. There was no plan of action moving forward. There was no plan in place to not just lose the weight, but keep it off and maintain a healthy lifestyle moving forward. So what would happen when you don't have a plan in place? It's going to help you moving forward. The old habits come back into play. You start, because let's face it, folks, it's a heck of a lot easier to gain weight than it is to lose weight. It takes half the work and half the time. So one of two things has to happen here, folks. If you're going to choose a restrictive diet, whatever it is, once you get to your goal weight, that's not the end of the line, because let's face it, that goal weight is not what you're going for. It symbolizes something bigger, something deeper, something more personal to you that you may or may not know, or maybe don't want to know at this point in time. Maybe it scares the living daylights out of you. But either way, that number symbolizes something bigger. So to lose the weight is just a fraction of it. That's just a small part of it. It's having the plan in place. It's going to maintain that healthy lifestyle. That's going to allow you to get to that larger, deeper, more personal goal. So to me, and I always say it's so simple that it's crazy enough that it might work. Instead of trying something that's may get you quicker results early on, but you can't sustain long term and ends up going on that yo-yo, that roller coaster ride. Simplify things. What changed for me for the better permanently was the fact that all I did to lose 75 pounds was to make better choices with the foods I was eating, cut down my portion sizes a little bit, making sure I was making good decisions more often than not, making sure that I was active more often than not, making sure that I was getting better rest, better sleep more often than not. Seems simple, doesn't it? Yes, it's hard work. It's supposed to be. That's why not everybody chooses to do it, because it is hard and it doesn't give you instant results. But it gives you long-lasting results. It gives you lifetime results. For a lot of people, including myself, it gives you your life back. So really understand what you're trying to accomplish here. It's not about losing weight. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Losing weight, getting in shape, getting fitter, all great. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But ultimately, there's a reason behind why you want to do this. For a lot of people, just losing the weight isn't going to push us enough to make that happen. There's got to be something truly personal that's gnawing away at us that wants us to do this. And there's nothing worse than doing the work and getting to a certain point where you've achieved your goal, which will allow you to take on that bigger challenge, that bigger goal that you want to accomplish, and then not have a simple, solid, manageable plan in place. It's going to take you long term till your last day here on earth. So remember that, folks. Not about the weight loss, not about the number on the scale. The goal is bigger. It's different for everybody, but it's bigger. I guarantee you it was for me. Who knew that it would mean starting a business? Who knew that it would mean changing careers, do a complete 180? I didn't know it at the time. Over time, I discovered that. You want to talk about now understanding if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to reach these bigger goals, I need to do something that's going to sustain for the rest of my life. Because sooner or later, you're going to get to that goal weight. But in my mind, and really it needs to be in yours, the work's really only begun. I'll catch you all next time. Take care, folks.